I have one. I've just randomly come off the path back up there. Today's the 29th of September, Sunday, and I've just run into this first upright. Seems to have been there a while. Oh, come on, focus. Just see that it's sticking in the ground quite loosely. That one. Let's come back into focus a bit now. It's been there a while. So it's been raining all week, and the ground is really kind of moist at the moment. It's quite nice, wet, and it is the perfect time to go out looking for perfect prints. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm not really focusing on the structures, but if I do come across some structures I will film them. Yeah, well, it's hard not to find structures because I'm just finding one over here right now as we come down this hill towards that tree there. We'll go have a look. One second. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to keep this camera steady as I can. It seems so wobbly and shaky. I'm just going to try something quickly before I continue. Let's try this. I don't think I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in on this. But it's like a stability thing on the camera. Don't know if it's going to work very well. So, it's a really old beech tree. I've got that there just dangling down. Got to be natural. I've got these two leaners going into sort of cross. It just stood out to me, that did over there, and thought I'd definitely come and check it out. Again, they're not in situ, just randomly leaning up. So, I think I might have found it. I'm trying to find a bit of a muddy patch that I came across. See if I can find any good prints this week. That's my goal of the week. Because I really want to cast one, which I've never done yet. And I should have done quite a few. Something's been digging out the rocks down there. I'm gonna go and check that out. To me, it looked like kind of like a grave, you know. It's not a grave. It looks like one, but it looks kind of fresh, so it's been dug out. So we'll go and have a look. I'm gonna do my usual pan around. I'm gonna go back into the other mode because I can't zoom in on this. Okay, and I think that's a bit more clear actually. Just having my usual scan, nice and slow. go. I mean, whether this is boar doing this, there's some feathers there. Them feathers have come off something that's been killed and clustered together. Yeah, whether it's boar doing this, it probably is boar. This is the difference between finding where boar have, it might be not boar, it might be wild folk doing it, but I know that the boar will uproot the rocks, but sometimes and often I'm finding rocks in the middle of no boar patches, so there's nothing that's dug them out. They're just randomly placed in areas, and there's no like boar prints around them. There's no mud like wallows that they've churned up around them, and these rocks are sitting just on top of the leaf matter randomly. This is a little bit different, because this is where the boar have tried to get underneath the rocks. Not sure if I see any boar prints about. Like I said, it has rained, which could be it could be good, it could be bad. It could have washed all the prints away. It could have, but it also could, you know, we could get prints because the ground's wet. Okay, there's a boar print there. So, pretty satisfied that boar do this. It's not been long done. Okay, I've come to a bit of a patch now. This is a random, I think this is just rotted down and died. Let's have a look. No, it hasn't. That is kind of just stuck in the ground. I could easily pull that out. Something's moving about over there. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I'm back at the patch of mud. I was here a couple of weeks ago. I had a boar churn up this old path, and this is where I wanted to start. Because all this should be fresh now after the rain. You have to be careful not to find my own prints. From a couple of weeks ago. Let's head up off here. Now, it's close to the size of mine, but that is a lot wider. So there's that one. That looks like a second one. I'm going to measure this because, see, I have been here before. Looking about 13 inches. 5.5 at the ball. Probably around 5 at the heel. That one's about the same. Not very defined toes. But it is very flat, you can see how it's pushed down. I know my boots are 12 inches. Not sure what the heel, yeah, it's about 4.5 is mine, wide. So it is wider than mine. Okay. See what looks like a big toe. The leaves have been pushed down flat. You can see the grass has been stepped on. Gonna try and get it to the point at two. Probably back to this rock area. It's probably about 13 inches. About 5. I count 5-ish. That's a good print. I could just, I don't know, I have to cast it. There's just so much going on with the grass going into it. And it would just change the shape of it, moving all of that leaf and grass. Just pinpoint where it is. Okay, it's by that stump. Right. There's 2 structures there, you can see. 1, 2. I'm sure I filmed these before. Bigger. Not sure if you can hear that raven. It's a funny thing, I love the ravens. My favourite bird. This is what I've got tattooed on my hands. New Scandinavian ravens. It's funny, every time a lot of the time I'll find a structure and ravens will suddenly fly over. Odin's birds. Hugin and Moonin. That's quite often I'll be filming and I'll find a nice structure and the ravens will suddenly fly over. But I'm just going to start filming here now because we're getting to that eerie dark area. Something might just... I'm going to film straight forward, but I'm going to be looking down, so see if that catch anything when I cross. Beautiful. This is the time now of all of the fungi and shrooms to be coming out. This is sapling. Let me just have a look here. This is, you know, a good performance. It comes up. Goes behind this. come back over this kind of, you know, plaited. Now I didn't notice that last week. Saw some little bits there going on. And this, it's kind of, you know, you couldn't walk up there and not notice it. Because they're both kind of in your way, you have to push through them to get through. This one here, tucked there, over there behind, just dangling off the ground. So this is the furthest I've been along this old road, and I'm going to check this patch out here. I've never checked that before. Pretty much all behind me to the right I've covered, and it's where I found them structures last week or the week before. I think I was there last week as well. So and like I said, I've never come this far after that. I've just stopped here because just looking around me now, a lot of these trees seem to have a branch leaning up them. So I'm just going to have a little scan around here, because this might be interesting. First of all, I'm going to have a look at this mud patch. So I'm not seeing anything exciting in the mud. Now, we'll start looking at some of these quick structures around. This looks natural. It might not be natural, but it looks to me like just one branch, one tree is fallen, landed on there. Right, nothing spectacular. Now we're going to go over here, because this is where it's going to get interesting now. We've got a small structure here, right next to it. Quite a large leaner. It's just been lent up there. Now I know it's not fallen from there. There's no signs of a snapped stump. I could pull that out very easily. It's very deep, but I could. It's a bit hard to show with one hand. I'll just dig down a little bit, just to show you. It's very deep. I can't. But there's no roots to that. We'll go through here. So you can have a look at the intricateness, how intricate each one of these branches has been positioned. It's small, it's only a metre high. It's like everything, every time I find one you'll find more. You've got that again, straight behind me. We've got another leaner. Okay, that one might have fallen that way. Out of the tree. Let's go over here. Oh, just found an old WW2 bunker as well. That's cool, we'll go have a look. There's a really large one. Straight between that tree. There's the old WW2. It'll be an old anti-aircraft cannon that would have been on it. We'll go and have a look in a minute. Let's go have a look at the end. Oh, that's not fallen. I don't know where that's come from. Whether it's fallen from a tree above me. Sorry there guys, my camera's bloody cut out. I really have to get like a handle for it. I don't know if I'm touching something. So it is that really big branch. It's going straight between these trees. We're still next to that bunker by the way. And that goes straight between there. Whether that's fallen like that, impossible. Next to it, we've got a couple more small leaners. I mean, how that's been curved. See how that curves to bend and go into there. That's pretty cool. Behind it, we've got these other leaners. I haven't been around the back, I'm guessing they are. Yeah, they are. So, they're quite long. All leaning up this tree. And these are pretty, a good sized branch. Still stuck up. And, a lot of people say, well, that's just natural falls. But when you are walking through the forest, you look all around you, and there's not another tree like that. And then you get one tree, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 with a couple small ones in it, all on one side. It's quite eye-opening. And then from just there you can see another leaner there. The other side is just that small structure, and you've also got that smaller leaner there. They're almost like markers. You find one, and as long as you keep going, you'll find them all in a path. Now, if you kept going all the way through there, you'd come to that patch I found the other week. It's pretty much, if I stand here, a straight line from here, follow those leaners, and you'll be at that patch through the forest. Now that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. There's also another one of these trees that goes straight through. just over there, so we're going to go and have a look at that. I'm guessing that old road that I've followed up here, which isn't a road, it's more like an old path, old trackway, is probably what they used to use to get to this this post in the wall. You know, this would have had a massive cannon on it, and it is shot across the valley to protect the Allies coming in with the planes, you know. Pretty interesting stuff. Let's go and have a look. And it's probably where I'm going to take a coffee break. These are the 4 posts that it was sat on top of. You can still see some of the steel there that's going in. Line. There's an old pot coffee, some sort of cup on that one. So it's a pretty good spot to have myself a coffee just now. Just sit here and look around. I actually want to go into this really dark, thick area as well today, before the sun goes down. Oh, there you go, there's a bit more of it now. Oh, it's not a coffee pot, that's like from an old electric thing. If you know what that is, guys, let me know. I know what it looks like, I just don't know what the name is. Is that part of it? Yeah, they were kind of rounded, I know that. Yeah, no, I can't piece it together, but there's the 2 spots of it. Very cool. So, I'm just going to go and have a quick look at this trees I've seen stuck here. Oh. You can clearly see there is a path that's been something's been walking down here. An old game trail. Something frequently walks down here. So, we've got 2 breaks really high up. If I can zoom in on them. That one can be from rot, where water's gone in between and it just snapped off. That one, a bit more fuss, don't know about that one. Then we've got this big T. We've got leaners either side here, small, big. All just leaning up and go into a point at the back, woven in. That was a strange noise. I know I didn't say I was going to do structures today. I was going to focus on prints, but how can I pass the opportunity when there's so many? Look at all these, just all these smaller ones, length up, 1, 2, 3, there's loads of them, I can't even count them all. All just tiny ones length up against that one. And even that, wow, I mean, you've got to check this out, because you can see how this big one curves around this tree, and it's even been broken in the middle, so it can do that. The pressure of that pushing against here, that's some pressure there. pushing against here to hold it onto that, which is actually a part of this tree. It's just died. Let's go back around and have a look. As you can see there, this is part of the tree. You can see that curvature in there. For that to just sit on top. Just randomly balanced there. That's a nice find, that is. I like that one. They're just so noticeable, you know. You can't miss them. So I want to push into there. Just thinking what I should do. Best route is whether I push in through here. Quite thick in there. If I go back to that path further down, and it's not a path that, you know, probably for this old bunker. Thinking to do that. This is classic ball. You see it. Some of them walking through here, around here. Just want to have a look at how high some of these branches are pushed to the side. So if you look here, these have been pushed out and they've been plaited in a way to be held back. We're talking, it's probably about 6 feet. In order to just have a clear path through there. Okay, it does get a bit low there, but I mean, somebody who's 6 feet, they could pass under that easy enough. I mean, yeah, I can pass under that bloody easy, and it's all pretty much cleared from there onwards. Walking height, my walking height at least. Okay, maybe not here, but again, I can pass under that pretty easy. size of that one. It's just dangling off the ground, that is. Come on. I mean, that's probably, from there. It's fallen down, broken. Just the power and weight that's got stuck up in there. At least it could be. Guessing it is. Probably natural. Look at him. Wow. It's a biggie. These are bent over. It's pinned under things. Yeah. Or just in a J. It's a really old telegraph post. It's probably again something to do with the war. I think, in fact, that hole up there looked like a bit of a bomb hole. Bit of a crater. Could it be? Could be. Oh, what have we got there? Oh, well, this wasn't all I was going for, but just a bit of a knock behind me. Yeah, just stuck in there. Bent. Pinned in there. That's a woodpecker that is behind me. That there. There, uprights. This is what I was gonna have a look at. That bloody big arch isn't even one I've just noticed, but I'm gonna have a look at that too. This place is riddled. Okay, that looks strange from a distance, but I think it's kind of natural, and I've just found something there that's interesting. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this big arch. really big archway, and it has, it's been pinned into the ground. I think it's just started growing that way now. You can just see where it's snapped off there. Great archway. Very cool. Then, I want to know what this is. What the hell is this? It looks like an old grave. You can see that it's hollow underneath. Some type of platform. Some of the metal that was used is bloody huge. Lost history. It's like it's got the curve to it, rounded. I wonder what that is. Bloody sacrifice bed, isn't it? Never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of stuff from the war and not seen anything like that. I don't know. Strange. Very interesting stuff. You can see the side here. Used brick, cement to be built, steel, well, iron. Strange find. I've looked at one of them raised plinth graves for some, I don't know what it is. It's not one of them, I know you don't know, but strange nonetheless. Been digging here up. Bloody cluster of branches there as well. I haven't been cut, they've all been snapped. Strange area. Very strange. Well, I'm going to have a sit down anyway in this area because it's got a strange feeling to it. There's obviously a lot of history in this area, at least war history, and there's some strange structures. So I'm going to have a sit down up on them rocks and I'm going to push through into there. I want to go sit on that high ground up there. Yeah, it's not a bad spot. Right. Back with you shortly. I'll have a sit down on this rock. Alright. So I'm just having my little natter, as I usually do towards the end of the day on my videos. Yeah, went through there before, behind me, to that, there's a plane flying over, other area where I found some structures and that weird kind of plinth platform, raised table. I'm not sure what that is. I've seen something similar, and that was where they used to wash clothes, on these kind of like wet tables. It'd hold the water. I don't know if it's something like that. And then I realised I've lost my pipe when I sat down on that rock, and that's the second time that's happened to me now. I've usually got my pipe in my mouth, and I bloody lost it, didn't I? So I've just been going across every structure I have in the past half an hour trying to find my pipe, and I've managed to find it. And I found it. Oh, come here. There, look. On that, there's leaning structures. It was right there. Right next to this old gun platform. And I was just sitting here having a pipe and looking through some of the video I recorded. I actually said that was just a slip of the tongue. That this protected the allies flying over. This didn't protect the allies flying over. This was to shoot the allies flying over. Because Kassel, this city, is not far away from here. Down this valley, and they'd have been coming down these valleys to hide themselves in the valley, you know, the bomb planes, and they'd have had these set up through the forests, the Germans, like, to shoot the Allies down as they came through. And that's what this is. It's one of the old anti-aircraft platforms. Not sure what the name of the gun is. It's like artillery, you know, but there was ones you sat on with the wheels, and you'd turn them and shoot down, you know, the planes. Funny, there's a plane flying over us and talking about that. Yeah, today's been a really good day. I know I said I came out to look for prints, and I did find a few prints, but you know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to prints, and I always kind of think back to that one of them first prints I found in a different forest, and it was just so perfect, and I always kick myself for not casting it, which I should have done, and I didn't, because it was going dark, and I'd got a wild boar. Honestly, this wild boar must have, I don't know, not far away at all, maybe 20 meters away, 30 meters, I don't know. It was screaming its head off at me, because where I found these prints was where it was kind of like a water hollow, like a wallow, you know, where the boar had been frequented. And so since then I've always like looked for these areas to find prints, because you know, when you're in terrain like this and it's leaf everywhere, the best castable prints are going to be in mud, along streams, rivers, or where the boar have frequently been chinning up the ground. So you know, I've done that today, and I have found a few prints, but they're not as perfect as that first one I ever found. I've found some perfect ones, but not as perfect. But I want them toe definitions. And when you've got like matter, like grass going into the print where it's been bent down into the print, if it had got toes I would cast it, but just to get some blob of a shape with all of this different matter in it, leaves and twigs and branches, to me, I know I'll find I'm finding prints all the time, and it's just a matter of time until I do find that perfect print again. I know I will, because I find prints every time I come out, but I just don't want to waste my time casting and waiting for an hour or so for the plaster to go off, to get home and have a big blob of leaf. And you know, if you've got to think, when that plaster goes in to that print, you know, say the print is so, and you've got twigs and branches going through that plaster is gonna be indentated around them pieces of matter. And when you remove them pieces of wood or I don't know, beech tree seed, you're going to be left with an absolute, you're only going to be left with a shape, an outline shape. And if it hasn't got the toes, if it had got toes and it had got the matter of twigs in it, I'd cast it. But without them them really defined toes that I found before, without that, there's just no point for me. Like I said, I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want some perfect prints. So I know that sounds probably silly to a lot of people, but like I say, I find prints every time I come out. So, you know, I just measure them, record them. So yeah, and then, you know, I got distracted because I found so many different structures today. I said I wasn't going to focus on structures, but once you see a decent structure and it leads you to other structures around, then you've got to go and record that, you know. I've noticed something as well. That area where I was a couple of weeks ago is probably around that direction. And I am finding structures in a line. You know, there's that one. And again, they go back into that deep forest where I was before. Where I found that kind of strange platform. So yeah, it's been a pretty rewarding day. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. There's a woodpecker up in the tree. And I can't zoom in on this mode, which is a bit shite. Oh well. The sun is just giving its last all before it starts to go dark. I'll just sit on this, I'm just sitting on the other ones across from it, look. I'm just going to sit here for a little, you know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Have a listen, as I usually do. And I'll probably head home. I do want to really go into these pine trees here. And I might get a chance today, a little bit, before I go back. Yeah. All in all, it's been a productive day again. I found a lot of leaning branches today. Some of these are really cool. You can see how they've been bent to go around and in between trees. Some of the power to be able to bend them, you know, 5-6 inch branches across to be able to fit in between trees. That's immense power. I've just had some go down my neck. Get a leaf. There's a great area, and what I find very interesting is the fact that all of these structures are around these kind of historical World War II, structures. And I've heard, people talk about the spiritual side of Sasquatch, and they're quite spiritual beings. Some would even say they are spirits. But it seems to me that they're still they are drawn to such areas of history. Whether it's because, and it's kind of my theory, that it might be something to do with, in the wartime, people were coming out and they were building all these big concrete structures in the forest, and now the forest is overtaking them again, and maybe it's a way of the Sasquatch trying to also kind of, take them over and bring it back to nature. Or they feel, like the ancient people like myself. We're kind of spiritual people. I'm a very spiritual person in a way, pagan kind of ways, and I was trying to think where I was going with that then, but maybe they're drawn to that energy that's in these areas still, like, because these areas from World War II, they do give off an energy. That was a time in history of great sadness and terrible things happening, and you do get a feeling, a strange eerie feeling when you're around these areas, and maybe the Sasquatch can tune into that spiritual kind of presence that's around them. It's just a theory of mine, personally I think, and as you know, I think Sasquatch is the Wildmen. I believe that they are an ancient hominin. I really do believe this. I think they have special ways that they can, things they can do, and they've adapted and evolved into being able to do things that we've forgotten, living in houses and cities. I think they're still very spiritual, and obviously they're still very connected to the land and the ground and the forests. They live here, so they feel everything, they sense everything. I've just seen something in the corner of my eye then. Like a black kind of black shape just ducked behind there somewhere. So yeah, that's just kind of one of my thoughts on the matter of the Wildmen. The reason why they're so good at hiding from us is because they're completely adapted to it. We make so much noise going through the forest. Even myself, when I'm trying to be quiet, it's impossible. It's impossible, and they can hear you from a mile away. All you have to do is sit there and keep really still, and most people wouldn't even notice. Most people don't even notice me if I'm walking through the forest. As long as I stand still, they'll just walk straight past and not even notice. People have lost their ability, I think, to even be observant anymore, in a way, and that's why they're walking past structures and not noticing them. Bit of a rant, I know, but yeah, it's kind of my ideas on it. Yeah, I don't think what else I wanted to say. There is something moving over there. I think you've probably just heard that big branch crack. This is the time now when the forest starts to come alive, and this last bit of sunlight. It's actually one of the best times to be around. I know when I used to hunt, this would be the time now to be getting out there, and or even fishing. When I was fishing, this would be the time now when the bites would start happening. Just as the sun's starting to drop off. This hill, this bank, it's very similar to the one I was finding a few months ago. Well, I've got the gifting rock up there. It's just structure after structure. Once you've found one, you just find them one after the other. The leaners, I am starting to believe leaning branches are way lines, like they're connected to way lines, and I've heard that today actually on the Facebook group. But I think they are possibly like these ones here, showing direction that way, and if you follow that way, there's another one just there that's also pointing on this side of the tree that way, and then if you carry on going, you'll come to that patch where I was finding the structures last week. That's something kind of to note, and I find that quite fascinating. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching the videos. I'm grateful that you all are on, and I'm getting so many people now, so many members, and it really makes me happy, like it really does. It's kind of like a reward in a way, when people like my stuff, and I don't need a reward for anything really, but it just makes it kind of, worthwhile in a way as well. To keep posting and keep doing the stuff that I do. Things are getting better, as I progress. Now I've got better cameras, and there's some more technology bits that I want to get, like a microphone. I want to get a body cam for my back when I'm walking through these areas. So yeah, I'm really grateful for everybody, and this will be loaded up onto YouTube. I'm struggling to get going really. I've got some good members on there now, and I think 30 something, 36 or something. I'm hoping to get a lot more, but it's a process, I suppose. And so I'm really grateful for the ones who have subscribed and liked my videos, and please keep it up. And if you're new to Trails in the Woods and you like the content, obviously, please like and subscribe, and let's try and discover more. Oh, there's a cracking wood knock there. Yeah, as I was saying, try and discover more of the European Wildmen. I hope you heard that wood knock. That was pretty good. Again, it's coming from this direction. Anyway, just before the sun goes, I'll probably head over there, have a little quick look. Again, thanks everybody for joining and watching. It means a lot. And please like and subscribe. And I'll keep, I'll keep the content coming anyway. But it's always a pleasure to have a few likes and more people subscribe. Anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. I'll see you again.